Yes, sir. Good evening, everybody in the Bucs family. How's everybody doing on this Saturday? This is a beautiful day out here. I'm in New Orleans. Feeling good, feeling healthy. Just got done doing a little walking. Feel like I wanted to do a video. And today's video will be about the NFC South free agency moves. Shouts out to the Bandits. Keep doing y'all thing. Keep representing BucosLocker. You know how we get down. So where shall I begin? Oh, can't forget. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share all the videos. And no, I did not go live with this video this time. This time I want to do it on Facebook. On YouTube versus Facebook. So let's begin. The NFC South. A division that's been pretty tough for quite some time. Playing games in the division is very tough. You play the team twice a year. You win your division, you go to the playoffs. And every year, it's always some funky stuff going on. But lately, it's been about the Saints. The Saints been making moves for the last 3 years. And they've won the division a few times. Quite a few times. Atlanta is going the opposite direction. Carolina is in rebuild mode. Or Atlanta or the Falcons is trying to rebuild on the fly or reshape their roster. The Panthers are rebuild mode. I don't care what they say about Teddy Bridgewater. I'm not. Nah. It's going to be about McCaffrey. And then you got the Bucs. Bucs have been on the bottom dwellers for a long time in the NFC South. We had one winning season in 2016, 9-7, and prior to that, there was a 10-6 season in 2010, I believe. Raheem Morris. We've been sputtering for quite some time, but this year, the 2020 season, it's a little different. Free agency has been crazy. Trades that you wouldn't think about happening. That's all fine and dandy. People getting cut. People not re-signed. People asked to request for a trade. The Bill O'Brien situation with DeAndre Hopkins, the Stephon Diggs. Crazy, man. Calais Campbell. But it all comes down to what can you do in your division? Can you improve in your division to win the division, which will automatically put you in the playoffs? Okay? Now, the NFC South, it's been about the Saints. So I wrote some notes down as far as the free agency moves on all the NFC South teams. And I'm going to start with the Panthers. They were the worst team last year. The Kittens. The Panthers have moved on from Cam Newton. Kyle Allen, Chris Hogan, Greg Olsen, Trey Turner, a Pro Bowl guard, Mario Addison, nice little D lineman, Bruce Irvin, Don Cherry-Poe, Vernon Butler, Luke Kuechly, and James Bradbury. The biggest loss, in my opinion, to the Panthers was Luke Kuechly. I know people say, "Oh, Cam." No. They'll be all right there. That defense will look different this season. Luke Kuechly has been a thorn on the Bucs side for years. It's like he know our plays regardless of what quarterback, what coach we have. Luke Kuechly has been a pain in the butt. But he retired at a young age, according to NFL. Luke Kuechly, man, he valued his health moving forward. He's had some concussions. I remember the game he cried one time leaving the field. He didn't know where he was. But Luke Kuechly is the Panthers' biggest loss. That defense will look different. They will be easy to score on. They got some remaking to do on defense. That's just my opinion. I think they'll finish at the bottom again this year. That's just my personal opinion. The Bucs should be able to beat them twice, in Carolina and in Tampa. But they did sign Teddy Bridgewater, P.J. Walker from XFL, Russell Okung. They traded with the Chargers. They traded a Pro Bowl guard, a young Pro Bowl guard, for an older left tackle. Robbie Anderson, he's going to be paired with DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, Seth Roberts, Stephen Weatherly, and Whitehead, the linebacker, that's supposed to be replacing Luke Kuechly. Those moves tells me that the Panthers are going to need maybe one or two more drafts, because I just don't see that roster winning the NFC South. 3 other teams are better than them right now. They're at the bottom now. They're the new Bucs, if that's a funny thing to say. But anyway, but as far as their free agency, man, and with the paired with the loss, I mean, the Panthers, they did okay. I mean, they moved on from Newton. They told him basically request for a trade, and nobody hasn't picked him up yet. But we're gonna see what the Panthers do in the draft, and there is still some free agency guys out there they can probably pick up. And also they moved on from Ron Rivera, Riverboat Ron, and they brought in Matt Rule, and Matt Rule brought in Joe Brady. So Joe Brady gonna be working with Teddy Bridgewater and P.J. Walker. So we're gonna see how that work out. And then you got the Falcons. That's right, I said it. The Falcons. Dan Quinn coach team with Raheem Morris as assistant head coach. That team has been sputtering around with Matt Ryan for years now. Ever since that Super Bowl. They blew that Super Bowl. They've been sputtering around. Even before the Super Bowl, they just been sputtering around. They'll make the playoffs and they get washed in the playoffs. Then they have a couple bad. Like, I don't know what Atlanta's doing. Like, the Falcons are just a weird team. They just been winning games with Matt Ryan. He's been putting up numbers, but for some strange reason, Matt Ryan can't get over the hump. His chance was when he was up 28-3 against the Patriots, and they blew it to bring a Super Bowl to Atlanta. They blew it. But this offseason, they've reshaped their roster on the fly. Not a rebuild mode, but they gave up on a couple guys that they thought was going to be, good. And they brought in some guys, former first-round picks. But their losses was Devontae Freeman, cap hit. That was a cap hit. They weren't going to pay him all that money. He was older. He was beat up. So they moved on from Devontae Freeman. Austin Hooper was a surprise. But I think he wanted too much money. And the Falcons didn't want to give him that money. Adrian Claiborne, older D lineman. Devontae Campbell. Vic Beasley, a former first-round pick. They gave this man so many chances. He reminded me of Noah Spence, Vic Beasley. They gave him so many chances, and he just couldn't get right. He had one good season with 15 sacks, and then teams figured him out. He had one move, which is a speed rush. He has no other moves besides that. He tried to get around you. That's all he tried to do. No counter moves, no nothing. And Desmond Trufant, the old wily veteran, who is, I actually think, is still good. But the Falcons said, we're going to go younger. The Falcons' defense going to look a little different, too. The question is their biggest question on defense is pass rush and their safety, Keanu O'Neal. Can he stay healthy? If he's healthy, the Falcons is a little nice in the back four. But Keanu O'Neal, they might have to move on from him or draft the safety somewhere in this draft. I don't know. But they moved on from some good players. But also the Falcons signed some first-round picks, former first-round picks. Todd Gurley, Laquan Treadwell, Hayden Hurst, Dante Fowler Jr. And these guys are not bad. It's just the situations they've been in. It's been a little awkward. Todd Gurley, we all know he's been one of the top backs for the last few years, and he hurt his knee, and he's been different. Falcons picked him up on a 1-year deal for $6 million. The Rams said, we can't deal with you no more. And it was becoming toxic. So the Rams moved on from Todd Gurley. Still a good back, but is he a full-time back? And they gave him $6 million. I don't know. We're going to see about that. He can be a problem, though, if he's healthy and used right. Laquan Treadwell, former first-round pick from Ole Miss. First-round bust? I ain't going to say he's a bust. He's still kind of young. But for some strange reason, Minnesota couldn't figure out how to use him. He reminded me of A.J. Brown. He do. DK Metcalf. He got that same similar build, and for some strange reason, the Vikings couldn't use him. I think he's all right. Matt Ryan will be able to use him with Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley. Laquan would be a nice little piece for them. I'm watching that guy. He's nice. He's all right. Just need more opportunities to have a coaching staff that's more confident in him. And maybe this offense will help him move forward in his career. Hayden Hurst, a first-round pick a couple years ago. And when I saw the Ravens pick him, and the Ravens usually do this, but they picked him in the first round. When I saw them pick him, I was like, I don't know. That was a weird pick. But Mark Andrews, third-round tight end, outshined him, and they had to get rid of Hayden Hurst. They didn't need him. Traded him. And then the Falcons signed Dante Fowler Jr. He kind of figured himself out after a few years, but Dante Fowler Jr. has kind of got a niche now. He can rush the passer in any position pretty much. So he's going to provide some pass rushing because the Falcons, for some strange reason, can't rush the passer. They got Takk McKinley and all that other good stuff. So the Falcons free agency has been, it is what it is. Falcons. But then you got the Saints. The team that is the team to beat. The Saints are the team to beat. They've been the team to beat pretty much for the last few years. And they didn't make too many moves. They added Emmanuel Sanders and Malcolm Jenkins. So we're going to see how those two veterans help that team out. They're pretty much Super Bowl ready right now. So they didn't need to add too much. They let go of a couple of people. Teddy Bridgewater, of course, signed with the Panthers. Ted Ginn Jr., they didn't really use him like that. AJ Klein really didn't need him like that. Eli Apple, he was up and down, inconsistent. And Von Bell, inconsistent. They got Malcolm Jenkins to replace Von Bell. So other than that, they're good. They might need a backup quarterback, but we'll see how that works out. Drew Brees, for 41 years old, one more year, and they got to move on from him. You know what I'm saying? Because he about out of gas now. It's hard to play something at 40 years old if you ain't, especially a sport like that at that position. But the Saints are Super Bowl or bust this year. Just like this next team I'm going to name, my team. Because when you got quarterbacks that old, it's Super Bowl or bust. You don't get quarterbacks like that to just get to the playoffs. You get quarterbacks like that to get you over the hump, to get you to the NFC Championship game and possibly to the Super Bowl and possibly win the Super Bowl. Because if you don't win the Super Bowl with Drew Brees, then you got to pretty much kind of reset the position because you got to move on at some point. You hold on too long, you're gonna set your franchise back 5-7 years. Ask the Broncos. Hold on to Peyton Manning, they set their franchise back. Can't do that. Got to move on. The Packers did it. The 49ers did it with Steve Young and Joe Montana. The Packers did it with Aaron Rodgers and Brent Favre. The Chargers did it with Drew Brees and Rivers, which was a mistake, but you get where I'm going with this. 40-year-old quarterbacks, that's reach. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see what the Saints going to do, man. They're the team to beat. And, of course, last but not least, my team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, whose offseason has been must-see TV because of two guys. When the season was over with, Bruce Arians and Jason Light decided to look behind door number 2, and door number 2, they opened it up, and it was Tom Brady. Tom Brady was sitting there, and they couldn't turn on the opportunity to sign a 42, who will be 43 in August, year-old quarterback. Because Bruce Arians feel like this roster is Super Bowl ready, which I don't believe. But we'll see. There's still some pieces that need to be taken care of, some positions. But we'll get to that. So they signed Tom Brady, 2-year, $50 million guaranteed. Wow. That's unprecedented. Bill Belichick didn't want to do it. The Titans didn't want to do it. The 49ers didn't want to deal with it. The Dolphins didn't want to deal with it. The Raiders didn't want to deal with it. It just came down to 2 teams, the Chargers and the Bucs. And Tampa is more closer to New York than Los Angeles, where the Chargers at. So he chose Tampa. And Tampa got, the Chargers and the Bucs are pretty similar, right? As far as weapons. But Tampa just more closer. The proximity got them over the hump. Were we his first choice? Who knows? I don't believe we was Brady's first choice. I believe if the 49ers or the Raiders or the Titans would have said, we'll take you, I think he would have went there. But it just came down to 2 teams. $50 million guaranteed. And that signing told me that the Bucs are Super Bowl or bust. No question about that. But also, the Bucs kept their front 7 intact, like Bruce Arians said. JPP re-signed, 2-year deal. Shaq Barrett franchised. And Ndamukong Suh brought back on a 1-year deal. So these deals that the Bucs made with JPP, Ndamukong Suh, Tom Brady are short deals. This is a 1 or 2 year window, folks. Let's get this clear. And I told y'all, my expectations is really high. Super Bowl or bust. No excuses. I don't care if they go 9-7 and get in. Get to the Super Bowl. Get to the Super Bowl. Because if you don't get to the Super Bowl, BucosLocker going to have a lot to say. Because this is a risky move by Bruce Arians. And he lived by what he talks about. Or what's his motto? No risky, no biscuit, right? On the field. And no risky, no biscuit off the field with this move. But the Bucs also signed up Haig, a tackle from the Colts. He's a swing tackle. He can probably play multiple positions. We'll see how that fits in. Because, the Bucs sure do need help on that right side if you want to get to the Super Bowl. But the Bucs also restructured Cameron Brate, $5 million to stay with the team. Shouts out to Cameron Brate. Good move. Because if you didn't take that deal, you were going to get cut or released. But he made the right decision. He took the restructure. They also resigned Kevin Minter. So these are depth guys right here. Andrew Adams, Nacho, Ryan Smith for special team purposes, Claire blocking tight end, Byron Mitchell receiver. I don't know what that's about, but we're gonna see what Byron Mitchell brings to the table. Maybe he can be a third receiver and take Rashard Perriman's place. Kevin Minter was a good re-sign to provide depth just in case Devin White or Lavonte David get hurt. But they also lost some guys that contributed to a degree. Rashard Perriman going to the Jets on a 1-year deal. Nassib going to the Raiders, got a nice little deal. His production didn't equal the deal, but he got the deal. So shouts out to Carl Nassib. Bo Allen, Peyton Barber got a deal with the Redskins, and their crowded backfield with AP and Darius Geis and Bryce Love and Peyton Barber. He's gonna have an uphill challenge trying to get one of those roster spots, unless he can get on special teams. Because those backs, except for Adrian Peterson, he's older, are more talented than Peyton Barber. But we'll see. Shouts out to Peyton Barber. And Demir Dotson also will not be back with the team most likely, unless they can't find anybody at right tackle. So they moved on from him. And the biggest news of the offseason besides Tom Brady was Bruce Arians decided to move on from yours truly, former quarterback of the Bucs, Jameis Winston. Still the talk of social media, also NFL networks. Also sports talk shows, platforms, they still bring up Jameis Winston. Where he going? Nobody knows where he going at. But the Bucs felt like, Jason Light, Bruce Arians, and they felt like it was enough. Enough is enough. The Glazers was like, okay, it's enough is enough. Tom Brady out there. We're going with Tom Brady. Thank you for your time and your contributions to the team and the organization. On and off the field. NFL stands for not for long. If you don't produce, you gotta go. 30 interceptions, 33 touchdowns, 5,000 plus yards. I know, 5,100. I know all that. Number one in this and that, and bottom. I get it. But the Bucs just felt like it was time to move on. And the Bucs felt like they have a better chance to go to Super Bowl with other quarterbacks. Now, Bruce Arians did say if they wouldn't have got Brady, Bridgewater was number 2, then Winston. Okay, whatever that is. But whatever that means when he says Bridgewater number 2. I don't know. Bruce Arians is tricky. He's a very tricky guy. But who knows where Winston's going to go. I know I'm pretty sure like half most of the Bucs fan base is following because they still talk about him. But we'll see how that works. But overall, man, the Saints are still the team to beat. Did we do enough to beat the Saints on paper? I think we're still number 2. I know we did enough to beat the Falcons, and the Kitty Cats, named the Panthers. But the Saints have been there, done that. And we're trying to get where the Saints at in a short-term solution. But the Saints are still the number 1 team in the division to beat. We're number 2. Does that mean we're going to the playoffs? There's a good probability, but it's not guaranteed. Because we signed Tom Brady, everybody thinks the playoffs are automatically going to happen. He got to stay healthy. The kicker got to make his kicks. The defense got to play good. You know what I'm saying? The receivers got to catch, run the right routes. The O-line got to block. Got to be able to run the ball. It will be a valid team effort to make the playoffs. Now, Brady will play a huge role in us making the playoffs. His health will determine our season. At 43, when he turns 43, his health will determine our season. And Bruce Arians said, Brady said he's comfortable with the system. He's going to be he all for it. I'll take that with a grain of salt because I think that system for Brady is not the right system for him. As far I'm sure they'll change up the system a little bit, give him some easier throws, kind of keep his arm ready for the season, and also keep his arm fresh during the season. But Brady he'll have some good numbers. Like I said, he'll throw under 12 interceptions. He won't throw 30. At max, the max is 12 to 14. The max, because he don't turn the ball over like that. He'll dirt the ball. He'll throw it away. He ain't taking no chances. The air yards per completion will probably be different. So a lot of stuff will be different with Brady at quarterback, unless he turns into 2007 Brady and throws 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but we'll see. But we're number 2 in the NFC South. I didn't do the NFC where we stand at. I will do another video on that and how we compare to the other teams. But right now in our division, we're number 2. That's just right now. It all depends on how this draft works out. Even if we hit the draft, you still got to put the Saints in front of us. Oh, but we got Tom Brady. But we got Tom Brady. No, it don't work like that. Yes, we got one of the GOATs, one of the greatest of our era, but that don't mean we're in front of the Saints. So anyway, that's my take on the NFC South and the free agency signings and where does the Bucs stand at compared to them. But we're number 2, and that's good. We're not last now. But, if you're not first, you're last. So you know how that works. I'm looking forward to the rest of the free agency and the draft, which is still on go. But we're going to see what the Bucs do in the draft. I got a really good feeling that it's going to be right tackle, running back. I know for sure it's going to be those 2. However order they want to do it. Running back in the first by trading down and pick up some more picks and then get your running back later in the first round and turn around and second round get a tackle, Austin Jackson, Josh Jones, the second tier. Or you stay at 14 and you pick one of them big 4. You might have to move up to get one of them. If you can't get the big 4, you can move down to get a tackle, or you can stay right there and get one of them D linemen. Because you're going to need some D linemen next year. JPP and Dominican Sue. They old. Javon Kinlaw. Chase on. Shaq Barrett on a 1-year deal. So there's a lot still to do for the Bucs. But we're going to see. Stay tuned. Because BucosLocker will be keeping an eye out on what the Bucs do. And I will give you my opinions and what I think about the Bucs signings and draft picks. So stay tuned. So with that being said, everybody, please stay safe out there. Coronavirus is still out here running around, man, and it's not a game, folks. Don't take it lightly. Don't take it for granted. Don't take life for granted. So stay safe, stay inside. If you got to go outside, be cautious and be careful and be mindful of what you're doing and what you're touching. I shouldn't be touching my face right now, but anyway. And keep those immune systems run good too. Make sure you get your vitamins and eat the right foods and drink a lot of water. So with that being said, this is BucosLocker. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the videos. And if you want to donate, feel free to donate. So all my bandits, Pirates, Bucs fans, and Patriots fans, and Brady fans, this is BucosLocker signing out. Fire those cannons. Seize the day. Raise the flag. Can't be scared to take a risk to go get that biscuit. Y'all be safe and stay sanitized. Peace.